Seeing Q made his mother smile. She had been worried about him because she hadn't heard from him in weeks, and their last phone call ended so abruptly. Q wasn't expecting her to come over. Although his mother was welcomed at his home anytime, he was glad that she arrived after Red left for the bank. He didn't feel like any drama today. Q's mother questioned him about his whereabouts and the reason behind his sudden departure, but Q never gave her a straight answer. Was it because of Raven? She asked, and her lips pursed. Q could never lie to his mother, so instead of starting, he didn't answer. She knew what that meant. Q, you're a grown man, but I will always be your mother.
I know, Mama.
Q kissed her on the cheek in hopes to divert her thoughts. His mother walked into the kitchen. You'll never guess who I ran into while you were away.
Who, Ma?
Red was pissed off about the check when she got back to the loft. When she heard voices, she closed the door as quietly as she could. Q and his mother were in deep conversation. She didn't alert them that she was home. She wanted to hear the rest of the conversation. Anyway, no woman will ever know you like I do, said Q's mom.
You're right, Ma.
He kissed his mother on her cheek. And just so you know, no woman will ever...
Oh, and just so you know, no woman will ever take your place.
He knew what his mother was getting at, and he wanted to reassure her that he'd always be her number one girl, his number one girl. Red heard them talking toward the kitchen door. She ducked behind a partially built wall that held a flat-screen TV. It shielded her from Q and his mother's view. Be careful, son, she said as Q escorted her to the front door. I know a snake when I see one. Red was beyond livid now. She knew that Q's mother didn't like her, but that was taking it too far. She was going to make Q's mother eat her words. Q was always spoiling his mom, and they left to go to the mall. Soon, Red was left alone in the loft. Red paced around the apartment, trying to cool off. She'd come home to tell Q about the check, but knew that doing so immediately would cause more questions than she had answers for. She was worried that the money, or lack thereof, would change their relationship, and that was not a question that Red was ready to tackle. She decided to leave well enough alone until she received answers, watching the Channel 10 news. Red listened while the reporter told the Motor City how dumb Mayor Kilpatrick really had become. In the middle of the affair, the mayor texted love notes to his aide. Red's mind quickly went back to Q's mother. She couldn't believe the woman called her a snake, especially considering she didn't even know her. During the trip to Mexico, Red had made a conscious effort to right the wrongs that she had done to Q. It appeared as if she was still on the right path. Now she was afraid that Q's mother would distort his perception of her and open old wounds. The words that Q spoke to his mother lingered in her mind. She knew that she could never take his mother's place, but she was gonna sure try. She was even more pissed that Q had left the house with his mother. Red continued pacing and stopped in front of this couch. Damn it, she yelled, and she swung her arms, knocking two pictures that were on the end table to the floor. Everything was going wrong all at once. She had also been trying to get in touch with Gloria for a couple of days, and so far was unsuccessful. Red was so incensed about what was going on that she didn't hear the knock or notice the turning of the doorknob in front of the front door. Stomping toward the door, ready to leave the office, she flung it open. Hey, baby, Kara said as she walked through the front door. She took a half day off to spend with Mikkel. Mikkel was able to make 10 times the money that Kara made with fewer hours worked. His job as a hustler made her somewhat envious. Mikkel would rise early to check his traps and then spend the afternoons and evenings at home chilling. Lil Mikkel was in his swing enjoying the ride, while Mikkel was in the kitchen putting the finishing touches on lunch.
Hey, Ma.
He greeted her. She stopped the swing. She picked up the baby and walked into the kitchen.
How was your day?
He asked. You won't believe in who came into the bank today.
Who?
Red.
Red?
Mikkel had to search his memory bank.
Oh, your girl who you stayed with?
Yeah, her. Well, guess what? You know she's a real estate agent, right? Well, she comes in the bank today to cash a check, a $1.6 million check, and there's a stop payment on it. Mikkel's eyes got big.
Oh, that's messed up. I know that had to be embarrassing.
He said after Kara told him how crowded the bank was.
I feel sorry for her.
Feel sorry for her? For what?
That's your girl, isn't it?
Yeah, and?
The fact that she tried to cash a check that large, and she was obviously going to do something with the money, man, that's messed up.
Kara looked at Mikkel like he was crazy. She didn't want him to know why Red was upset with her or anything about their story. Kara wanted to maintain the pristine image that Mikkel had of her. Her plan to take him away from Terry had worked. He just didn't know it. After lunch, a relatively peaceful afternoon, Mikkel was in the nursery, about to put his son down for a nap. Kara was in their bedroom, putting clothes away when the phone rang. I'll get it, Kara yelled. An automated voice came through. You have a prepaid call from Terry, another voice said. Press 5 to accept or hang up to decline the call. Kara pressed 5. She had some stuff to get off her chest. Hello, is Mikkel there? Kara cocked her neck to the side and looked at the phone. She got the nerve calling here for my man, she thought. Who is this? She asked in order to taunt Terry. She had a major attitude. You know who this is, Kara? Kara's blood pressure rose instantly. She wanted to yell, but decided against it. No need to alarm Mikkel when she had something she needed to tell this crazy trick. All of the religion left Kara's body. She gritted her teeth and spoke forcefully. Bitch, you got the nerve to call here? Look, I asked to speak to Mikkel. Well, you gotta go through me to get to him. So whatever you have to say to him, you can say to me. There was silence on the other end. Finally, Terry spoke up. Well, can you put him on the other phone? This way, I only have to say this once. That was a reasonable request, but Kara wanted to add more salt to the wounds. Actually, she said through a yawn, he's waiting for me in our bedroom. She paused for a moment to gather more venom. Just so you know, Mikkel is a great father, Terry. He said he wants to have a lot more kids with me. She lied. By the way, how are your kids, Terry, and their father? Despite how much of a Christian Kara had become, she couldn't resist hitting Terry where it hurt. She knew that Terry had lost custody of her children, and her baby daddies were ghosts. Okay, I deserve that, Kara. There was another light pause. How's the baby? Kara paused. No, Kara pulled the receiver away from her ear and looked at it, as if it was a foreign object. Do you really care, Terry? You tried to kidnap my baby and then you want to know how he's doing? What, you want to make sure he's okay so you can do it again? Look, Kara, I was calling because I was wrong. I didn't mean to hurt you. Mikkel, and most of all, your son. I hope he's okay, because if not, I would never be able to live with myself. Kara fell silent momentarily. She actually felt sincerity in Terry's words. However, this was something that would not go away with an apology. You know what? You just better be glad that you're behind bars, because that's the only place you're safe right now. She threatened. And don't call back here. Mikkel doesn't want to talk to you. She slammed the phone down. A voice behind her startled her.
I don't want to talk to who?
Oh, you scared me, Red exclaimed. When she flung open the door, it revealed Speak standing there.
Where's my money, bitch?
What money? Red was caught off guard.
Cut the bullshit.
He demanded, pushing her past into the loft.
I know about the check you gave Q, and I waited long enough.
She looked at him quizzically. Z knew what she was doing, but stopped her.
Don't play dumb with me.
He walked up on her and coughed in her face. She could smell a strong alcohol stench coming from his pores. She now knew where he got his brazen attitude. He was drunk.
Since you got so much, I want 6 times what you owe me.
Red took a step back and put her hands on her hips. 6.
You heard me, bitch. I ain't stutter.
15 for the money you owe.
15 for the money you owe me, and 15 for almost getting my man killed.
What you gotta do with that?
I wired him money while y'all was on the run in Mexico. The thing is, bitch, my man don't run. He was trying to protect your ass. So I want that too. Plus interest.
Red smiled and shook her head.
Fuck you smiling for?
Z asked angrily. The fact that you want me, she pointed to herself, to give you, she pointed towards him, 30 G's. Z grabbed her wrist.
And I want it now.
He looked at her and she jerked her wrist away.
If I don't get it now?
He narrowed his eyes and then took his index finger and traced the corner line of her breast.
I'll take something else. Then tell Q you broke me off. I can always come back for the money.
Broke you off? You out of your fucking mind. He won't believe that shit. She turned to walk away, but Zeke pulled her to him and bit the side of her neck hard. She screamed, clearly stunned by his actions. Get your hands off of me, she spat with venom. Zeke's cell phone began to ring. He looked at the display and smiled.
Well, look what we have here.
He jibed.
It's Quincy.
He showed Red the caller ID.
I wonder how he would feel if I told him I was at his crib alone with you. He come home and see that big ass mark on your neck. Now, with your reputation, who will he believe? Me or you?
His phone stopped ringing.
I ain't leaving here till I get what I came for.
Zeke sat down on the love seat and stared at Red. He coughed a couple more times. He's right, Red thought. Q wouldn't believe me. He'd take this Nilla's word over mine, and I'd be back at square one. Think, Red. Think. You know what? She proclaimed. I ain't got time for this bullshit. She walked out of the living room and into her bedroom. Her head was pounding, and she needed to get something in to stop the migraine that was forming. Opening the medicine cabinet, she located some Tylenol for her migraines, but her eyes quickly diverted to the small bottle next to the package. Red smiled, uncapped it, and put it inside her waistband. She then opened a bottle of Tylenol, took 2 out, and placed the package back into the cabinet. Walking out of the bedroom, she passed Zeke again.
You got it?
Zeke asked. He began to make funny, throaty noises, like he was trying to suppress a cough, but couldn't. She walked into the kitchen and retrieved 2 bottles of water out of the fridge. She opened hers and took the Tylenol. Once she returned, she handed Zeke a bottle. You may need this. She heard him cough a few more times. Zeke opened the bottle again, and he began to drink. He immediately put it down as the water began to go down the wrong way. Red rushed to him and sat on the arm of the love seat as she started to pat his back. As she did that, she retrieved the small bottle from her pants and squeezed all of the clear liquid into the water. Once his coughing attack began to subside, she handed him his water again, and he drank the rest of it. Red smiled as she saw the liquid disappear from the bottle and down his throat. Let me get my checkbook, Red said.
Checkbook? Bitch, do I look like a bank? I gave you cash, and I want cash in return.
Okay, damn, Z.
Nah, as a matter of fact, fuck it.
He picked up his phone.
You stole it.
He began to punch in numbers. Who the fuck you calling?
Q.
Wait, Zeke, she said in a panicked tone. Stop, you're right, I was stalling. Zeke began to breathe heavily, and Red's anxiety began to subside. It's working. I was stalling because I can't let you fuck up what I have. Zeke was now in distress. He couldn't breathe, and his body was starting to convulse. Red watched calmly. He reached out toward her as if she were his lifeline. You should have left well enough alone, Zeke. But this is what you get when you threaten me. She grabbed the 2 water bottles and their caps and made sure that she had the empty Visine bottle and shoved everything in her purse. Zeke struggled to say, "Help me." during his gasp for breath. But Red walks out and left without bothering to close the door. Red drove away from the building in the Lincoln Navigator that she had rented upon her return to the States. Hoping that Q did not return home anytime soon, her adrenaline pumped high. She wanted Zeke to be dead or damn near dead before anyone found him. Driving for a few minutes, Red began to come to her senses. She pulls over on the side of the street because her heart began to start racing. Should I go back? She said out loud. Why do people want me to act this way? She began crying. I'm trying to change. I'm trying. She screamed out loud, put her hands up to her face, and cried profusely. After minutes of tearful torrents, Red reached into her side console and pulled out a travel pack of Kleenex. Pulling down her sun visor and looking into the mirror, she dabbed her eyes and blew her nose. Her eyes went to the big red mark that was starting to show on her neck. That son of a bitch. She held her head up, exposing the left side of her neck to get a good look at it, then sighed. Damn, Zeke, I didn't want to hurt you, but I can't lose Q for you or anyone. Red gathered her composure, focused on the present and what she needed to do. Her first course of action was to find Gloria. Once she got the check situation straightened out, she and Q could just leave, start a new life somewhere else. Yep, that's the answer. Find Gloria. She looked one more time in the mirror before flipping the visor back up. Red saw the faint mark of the cut on her nose, courtesy of Bacon. The deep wounds of humiliation wouldn't heal until Red did something about it. Over the last couple of days, she had been inquiring about Bacon, but nobody had seen him or heard from him. Red wasn't sure about his whereabouts, but she had to know. Red arrived at the Scottenstein Realty. She noticed a lockbox on the front door. Perplexed, she pulled out her cell phone and dialed Gloria's number. The blare of a recording reported, "The cellular number that you have called is no longer in service. Please check the number and dial again. Message 3492. Red redialed and received the same message. Her heart started racing. What was going on? She thought back to the last time she saw Gloria. Oh my God, the closing, Lord, please. She climbed into her car and sped off into the title company. All sorts of thoughts started rushing through Red's mind. Please don't let Gloria be in jail for some of my fraudulent real estate deals. Red thought back to the closing, then back to the check. Gloria had vouched for her like a soldier. But Red would die if she was locked up all because of her. My relationship with Q will be good as over if I don't get this shit settled. Red said out loud. Good morning, Miss Gomez. The cheerful blonde receptionist chirped. Good morning, Heather. Red read off her name badge. Is Mr. Perch in? Please have a seat. I'll let him know that you're here. Thank you. Red walked away from the reception desk to the water cooler. She put the small styrofoam cup under the spout and pushed the blue button to dispense cold water. Miss Gomez, he will see you now. The receptionist spoke just as Red put the cup to her lips. Red tossed the full cup into the trash as she made her way back to Mr. Birch's office. Good morning, Kevin. Red spoke. Raven, he acknowledged. You're looking quite spectacular. He pointed toward the seat in front of his desk.
What can I do for you today?
My bad. My commission check for the sale of 3124 Colonnade Drive. I tried to deposit it, but... Right. Mr. Perch said, cutting her off.
Unfortunately, the sale of that property has been reviewed by an attorney, and the sale is invalid.
What do you mean, not valid?
We were forced to put a stop on your commission check. Apparently, when the documents were reviewed by the closing office, they were found to be incomplete.
Excuse me? I've been doing this for 2 years. What do you mean incomplete?
Something about the identification about the sellers. They had your identification and signature. However, they had no identification for the other owner, only a signature. They need that person's photo ID.
Wait, what? This is where... What? Where's Gloria? Red demanded. The man paused for a moment and looked at her.
Where's Gloria? You so perfect, paper, but you deaf.
Red quickly jumped, and an angry scowl plastered her face. Mr. Kirsch flinched. He hadn't expected this reaction from her. Raven?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Gloria died a couple weeks ago. Breast cancer.
Red stared at him, mouthing the words that she died. Red fell back into the chair, and tears suddenly began to flood her eyes. The next thing that she knew, she broke down and wept uncontrollably. Gloria had meant so much to her. She was the one person in her life who had believed in her. Gloria was like the mother she never had. Mr. Kirsch gave Red the chance to gain her composure on her own. He knew he couldn't console her. After all, she and Gloria were tight. Moments later, he spoke up.
I know it's hard to believe this, that she's gone. We'll all miss her. Anyhow, she left something for you.
He opened the jar and handed Red a large white envelope. She opened it, and there was a letter addressed to her, along with other material. She pulled out the letter and read it. My dearest Raven, if you're reading this letter, it means that I've gone on to a better place. My heart was broken when my husband died, and then you came along. You gave me a reason for living. You were the daughter I never had. You and I were a great team. But I still have that void. True love never dies. Raven, don't cry for me. Live for me. I'm at peace with my husband. As promised, here are the keys to the office and the lockbox. The business is yours, if you want it. Just sign the paperwork and make me proud. I love you. Gloria. Red looked in the envelope, and all of the papers were in order for the transfer of the business, along with the keys and as well as the broker information. Red dried her tears and presented the contract to Mr. Kirsch.
Well, Raven, looks like you have expensive shoes to fill in.
He smiled at her. Gloria wore nothing but the best, and she expected the best. I'm speechless, Red confessed. She meant so much to me. Tears began to fill her eyes again.
And you mean a lot to her.
He handed her a pen, and Red began to sign the papers for her new business. After she signed the last page, he watched as she got up and walked toward the door.
Raven?
She turned around to address Mr. Kirsch. Yes? This is what Gloria
wanted. I know you won't let her down.
Thank you. I'm still feeling dazed. Red walked out of the door as she left the title company and left the Scottenstein Realty. Thoughts of Gloria flooded her mind. Once Red arrived, she used her keys to unlock the lockbox. She trudged into the quiet establishment and remembered what it was like. Gloria didn't have a lot of agents, but it was a close-knit family. Red didn't mingle much with her counterparts, but she and Gloria had their own special bonds. Gloria believed in success at any level. Red remembered Gloria's motto, your reputation is all that you have in life and all that you need in this industry. That translated into real life. Reputation and perception go hand in hand, if drawn in an invisible string. Red walked into Gloria's office and saw that nothing had been touched. All of her pictures, licenses, and awards were on the wall. She sat down behind the desk, and picked up a picture of Gloria and her husband, Sherman. True love never dies. She remembered the letter and Gloria's words. Fingering the couple's photograph, Red could see how happy they had been together. All of a sudden, she had wondered if she could ever be that happy, or would love always elude her because of her sordid past? Could she and Q get through all of the lies and tricks that she played on him? The fake pregnancy, the real one, not knowing who the father was, tricking him into buying the loft. It just seemed so minor to her. But the check, he's gonna think I'm playing some type of game because I can't cash the check. Shit. Q's curiosity got the best of him. His mother told him that she'd seen his ex-girlfriend Chas and gave him the business card that he had given her. Since she didn't like Red's shady behavior, his mother didn't see anything wrong with trying to open her son's eyes. Remembering Chas brought a barrage of emotion to Q's heart. They were together all through high school, but their destinies were different. College called her. The street called his name loud and clear, introducing him to another world and a different caliber of women. Even though Chas was pretty enough, Q had access to nothing less than dime pieces, and then along came Red. Q felt bad about how he left things with Chas because she was with him when he had nothing. But from the looks of it, she'd made something of herself. She was now an attorney.
Should I or shouldn't I?
Q wrestled with his emotions after looking at the card for several minutes.
She can either talk to me or hang up.
He dialed the number and waited for someone to answer. Public Defender's Office, how may I help you?
Chas Reed, please.
May I tell her who's calling?
Tell her it's Quentin Carter. Tell her it's Quentin Carter.
After about 15 seconds, he thought.
I can't do this, Red.
Just as he was about to hang up, a sweet-sounding voice on the other end answered. Quentin?
Hi. Yeah, it's me.
His player status was shot to shit. She caught him off guard. This was an awkward time for Q. Chas wasn't just a notch on his belt. He truly cared for her at one time. I was hoping your mother would give you my card.
Yeah, she did.
Silence.
Well, hey, it looks like you're doing great for yourself. You a big-time attorney now, huh?
Not big time yet, she laughed. I got out of law school not too long ago. An awkward silence filled the air. I'm working on a case here, and then afterward I'm going home.
Home? Where's home?
New York. More silence. How's Zeke, Quentin? Chas knew many of Zeke's friends, especially Zeke.
He ain't changed much. Still the same crazy ass dude.
They both laughed. More silence. Quentin, I gotta go, but I'd like to see you before my case is over. He thought about it for a moment.
I like that,
he said. He hung up the phone after exchanging numbers. On his way back into the loft, Zeke called and left a message. No, he called Zeke and left a message.
Yo, you never believe who I just got off the phone with. Hit me back.
Red sat in Gloria's office, torn up over about what she had done to Zeke. Having committed a treacherous act against Q, her emotions played tricks on her. Would he be better off dead or alive? Shit, I'm not the one who decided that. She convinced herself. He did. It was his choice. At least if he's dead, he can't talk. But if he's alive, then Red shook the thought out of her mind. She already called the sign maker to put up the name of her new ownership, Gomez Realty. She was determined to carry on where Gloria left off. Unfortunately, she would have to watch her spending until she made more money. The 1.6 million check was no good. She only had a little over 200,000 in the bank. For someone like Red, that could be gone in a heartbeat. Red thought back to what was said at the title company.
Unfortunately, the sale of a property has been reviewed by an attorney and the sale isn't valid.
What do you mean by not valid?
We were forced to put a stop payment on your commission check.
But what's up with the property? She thought. If the transaction is null and void, that means the property is still in my name. And Bacon's. It was Friday afternoon, and Big Will's barbershop was packed. The hum of clippers tightening up the latest styles could be heard while raucous laughter and droning filled the air as two young cats battled in the SmackDown vs. Raw on the PlayStation. Some enjoyed videos on the 106 and Park on the wall-mounted plasma TV, while others tuned into a DVD of Farrakhan delivering one of his powerful speeches. Q sauntered in after deciding not to go home right away and was greeted by many of the patrons.
What's up, my brother?
Big Will acknowledged and then picked up another set of clippers and began to tighten up Miguel's taper.
What's up?
Q said as the two men exchanged a dab.
How many ahead of me?
Q looked around at the men in the shop.
Just Mikhail here.
Big Will knew and called each of his customers by name. He felt doing so would promote brotherhood and unity among the black men in the community. Q sat down and waited his turn while engaging in light conversation with Mikhail. They'd met at the hospital when Kara gave birth, and again at Red's, but they knew more of each other through word of mouth on the streets. They respected each other's hustles. Little did they know, they actually had a lot in common. They both had loved ones who went down because of the game. And the book, Bitch Nilla, Snitch Nilla, told it all. They were both determined to avenge their loved ones' untimely demises. And they also knew their women were partners at one point.
How the baby mama doing, man?
Q asked Mikkel.
He's doing good, real good.
Mikkel said with a proud beam on his face.
So you settling down, huh? You gonna be that one woman man?
Q teased. Big Will removed the cape from around Mikkel's neck.
Man,
Mikkel said, standing up.
that was good then, but it's hard to stay with one woman.
He reached into his pocket, then paid Big Will.
I feel you.
Another man chimed in.
A nigga shouldn't just have one woman when pussy is plentiful.
Everyone erupted in laughter.
Shit, I made my money off a woman.
Mikkel said truthfully.
I'm used to this. At first I thought she was going through that postpartum stuff, but now she's at church all the time, sprinkling baby oil, holy water, whatever that shit is, all around the house. Mood swings all over the place. I don't know what's up with her. Oh shit.
A young dude commented. The church done got a hold of her now.
Next she gonna be talking about that premarital sex stuff. She like a hawk now, flying in a circle. She gonna get your ass. You better run while you got the chance.
More laughter erupted. Mikkel had to laugh at that himself because he could envision Kara snapping on him, or better yet, tying him to a chair and throwing holy water on him. Q sat down in the chair and Big Will draped the cape around his neck. Q and Mikkel engaged in conversation for a moment. Then, right before Mikkel left the barbershop, the two promised to stay in touch with each other. As Mikkel was entering his truck, his cell phone rang. The caller ID read unavailable, but he answered it anyways.
Yeah?
He started the truck and immediately was engulfed in music. The automated message stated that he had a collect call from an inmate at a correctional center, but the caller's name was inaudible due to his loud music. He pressed 5. Mikkel.
Who this?
He said, trying to sound hard. This is Terry, but before you hang up, she said in a torrent of words, please hear me out.
You got 20 seconds.
Mikkel barked angrily as he began to drive. I called you the other day and Kara answered, and she wouldn't let me talk to you, but that's not the reason I'm calling. I'm calling because I'm going to court in 2 days, and I wanted to let you know that I was wrong for my actions, and I accept full responsibility for what the outcome is. Just know I didn't do it to hurt the baby. I would never do that. I was hurt because I loved you and you didn't love me back. Mikkel's cell phone bleeped, alerting him that he had another call. He looked at the caller ID and paused. Mikkel? Terry called out, thinking he hung up on her. I'm here. There was an uncomfortable silence. Then she continued. Well, my time is up. I'm gonna go now.
No, Terry, wait.
Another long silence, with Terry waiting to hear what he had to say. Finally, Mikkel spoke up.
I will never forgive you for what you did, but I will always care for you, and I'm sorry for how things turned out.
He stopped talking and swallowed hard. The person trying to get through hung up.
How are they treating you in there?
They got me undergoing a lot of psychological testing, but I lost my kids. Mama flipped the script and said I was never home because I was chasing you.
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah, but it's okay though. At least they're not in the system, and I know they're being taken care of. Hopefully, I'll be home soon, and I'll be able to get to be their mother again.
Regardless of who raises them, Terry, you will always be their mother.
Thanks, Mikkel. I needed to hear that. Mikkel drove the rest of the way home talking to her.